Time to weave together a trio of tales, tying them together through themes and morals, in Allegory from Calliope Games. Hi, I'm Andy at Board Game Barrister, and this play-along tutorial is designed for you to play along with your own copy of the game. But if you don't have the game, no problem. We'll go through all the rules on screen so you can still learn the game and see how it plays. If you do have your own copy, feel free to grab your game box and follow along. Let's get started by opening the box and retrieving our game components. You should have 63 theme cards, 18 moral cards, 90 lore chips in 6 stacks of 15, and 6 rest markers. There will be times throughout this tutorial where I suggest that you pause the video while you get caught up in your own game. Let's take our first pause now while you get your box open and your pieces out on the table. Okay, now let's get set up for your first game. First, if you're playing with 2 or 3 players, remove all of the cards with glowing icons in the top right corner from the theme and moral decks, and return them to the box. If you're playing with 4 or more players, the glowing icon cards should remain in the decks. Shuffle the moral cards and deal 1 face down to each player. You should look at your moral, but keep it hidden from all the other players. There are 2 copies of each moral card, so if you want to eliminate the potential for 2 players to be competing over the same moral symbols, you can remove 1 copy of each before dealing them. I prefer the game this way, as I think it keeps everyone on a totally even playing field. Next, shuffle your theme deck and flip a number of theme cards equal to the number of players face up in a row. These face-up cards now form your inspiration pool. In a 2-player game, lay out 3 cards instead of 2. Finally, each player takes a stack of 15 lore chips and a rest marker. Your lore chips must remain visible to all players throughout the game. Leave space in front of yourself for 3 columns of cards, the 3 tales you'll be telling. Let's pause again here while you get your game set up as you see it here. Unpause when you're ready to begin the first round of play. In Allegory, you'll collect cards for 3 different tales: nature, energy, and spirit, in an attempt to build the most enrapturing body of work. Each round, you'll bid lore for the right to claim a theme card from the inspiration pool. The winning bid of lore is always distributed among the remaining theme cards, and you also have the option to bow out of bidding and instead rest, taking the card with the most lore on it to rebuild your supply. When the game ends, you'll score points for the weakest of your 3 tales, as well as your collected trios of matching theme cards and all cards that match your hidden moral. To begin the first round, known as the prologue, the youngest player should place a starting bid of lore on the table in front of themselves. At the end of the prologue, the player with the winning bid will select a theme card to add to one of their tales. Different playgroups will have different tendencies with their bidding, so there isn't a correct starting value. Your bid should also depend on whether there's a card in the inspiration pool that you find appealing. While you're learning, you may want to start small and see what happens. Then, going in clockwise order, each player must do one of 2 things. Outbid the previous player by playing at least 1 more lore in front of themselves than the previous bid, or rest, placing your rest marker in front of you and taking back any lore you might already have bid this round. When you rest, you may no longer take turns this round. Continue around the table until all players except 1 have rested. The remaining player wins the round and will get to select a theme card to begin their first tale. Let's pause here while you carry out your first bidding round. Unpause when you're ready to resolve the winning bid. We have a winner! The winning bidder in the prologue should now select 1 theme card from the inspiration pool and place it in the open area in front of them. The design in the top left and bottom right of the card determines which tale the card is a part of, so all of your nature cards should go in 1 column, energy in another, and spirit in the 3rd. The straightforward qualities to look for in a first card are high values and a moral that matches your hidden moral card. Major selection? Great! Replenish the inspiration pool with the top card of the theme deck, and let's play another round. But first, 1 more important step. The winner must now distribute all of the lore they bid among the cards in the inspiration pool. In future rounds, players will be able to take cards and the lore chips on them when they rest. There's a lot of strategy to be mulled over in how you might be able to influence their decisions, but because this is a learning game, you might just want to spread your lore evenly or add more to cards with negative values that you don't think will be appealing to other players. Pause 1 more time while the winner selects their card, replenishes the inspiration pool, and distributes their lore. Then we'll move on to the next round. To finish a round, everyone takes back their rest markers. Then we're on to the next. From here forward, each round is considered a story round. Each story round will begin with the player to the left of the previous round's winner. Each new round will proceed similarly to the first, take turns in clockwise order, outbidding the previous player or choosing to rest for the round. The winner chooses a theme card, replenishes, and then distributes their lore. But, now that we have lore on one or more cards, any player who rests also has the option to take the theme card with the most lore chips on it. Yep, you also get to keep the lore. You can't take the card with the second or third most lore, and you can never take any card with 0 lore on it. When you take a card through resting, you immediately replenish the inspiration pool with the top card in the theme deck. This presents the resource management element of the game, where you'll need to decide each round whether to fight to win the bid, or rebuild some of your lore stores for later. Now it's time to continue playing story rounds and claiming theme cards. Remember, your base score at the end of the game is the sum of the cards in your weakest tale, so you'll want to claim theme cards as evenly as possible across all 3 stories. In fact, if any of your tales have no cards in them at the game's end, you are immediately disqualified from winning, so time to start work on that trilogy. Continue playing until the end of a round in which a player claims their 10th theme card. That will be the final round of the game. Pause here until that time comes. Then we'll score up your tableau of tales. Well done, you've crafted marvelous tales. Now it's time to determine who did so best. First, add up the sum of the card values for each of your individual tales. The tale with the lowest sum is your tale score for this game. Next, check over all your theme cards across all 3 tales for any sets of 3 matching themes you've collected. Each of these sets of 3 is worth 2 points. A card may not be part of more than one set, so you would need to have collected 6 or more matching theme cards to score the same bonus twice for one theme symbol. And last, reveal the moral card dealt to you at the beginning of the game. You gain 1 more bonus point for each of your tales that contains at least 1 card matching your moral, for a maximum possible bonus of 3 more points. Add up your tale score, your theme bonuses, and your moral bonus. The player with the highest final score has mastered the art of Allegory. For now. It's time to shuffle up and play again. If you enjoyed this tutorial, you can see new videos whenever we post them by hitting the subscribe button and the bell icon. And you can see more play-along tutorials just like it here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.